The real estate market is sizzling hot right now, and our Real Deal team is here to help you get ahead of the competition. I'm joined by Chong of the Yi team at Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, Josh Green, president of Eastern Title and Settlement, and Lonnie Whitehead of Powerhouse Realty. Welcome back to Great Day, Washington.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Now, the real estate market is hot right now. In addition to it being summer, you have some tips on the perfect buying process so that viewers can get ahead of the home buying. Tell us about that.
I think that everything you do in life should have a certain process that you can do from beginning to end, like figuring every step of what you should do, because you need to set the right expectations to advise someone what's going to happen next, right? It's just interesting. Like when we found out we were going to talk about this, I was like, wow! For once, like somebody who's actually putting it on paper, you know? Because on our team, we have a perfect loan process that we try to do for every single transaction. But I've never really heard of a realtor. Actually, they probably do, but
I've never heard of a realtor having a checklist.
Yeah.
I know we have them, but having a realtor
It's so
has
awesome.
one? Wow.
So
I was
Lonnie,
impressed.
yeah, I mean, this is great because for home buyers, it's the largest purchase they'll usually ever make in their lives. And you have this step-by-step process to take the pressure off and put them more at ease. Tell us about that.
Yeah, what I like to do is sit down with the home buyer first, go through this process, and the process starts off. The first step on that is select the agent, which hopefully will be me. And then it just shows them a nice visual outlook of what is going to happen each step of the way, from selecting your lender, because that's important for the pre-approval letter, and also letting them know they need to select a good title company that will help them close that deal.
Well,
Now,
the other thing he was telling me is it's color coded.
Yes.
So each color represents something different, like
Yeah.
what, orange is money or green is
Correct.
money?
Yeah, it's a nice visual. So if you see orange, that means you're gonna have to come out of your pocket before settlement. That's one of the first questions I get is, when do I have to spend money before I go to settlement? So I show them, for example, the home inspection, they have to pay out of pocket, termite inspection, the earnest money deposit has to go down with the offer. So
this is so organized so that the homeowners can concentrate on all of the wonderful things that they're going to do with their homes. You have really laid it out for them. So this flow chart, it takes people from beginning to end, Lonnie.
correct.
Tell us more about this, because then when they get to the end, how are people feeling at the end of this process?
You know, every time I go through this process that I actually got from my broker, I learned this from my broker years ago. I learned a lot from him. But this process helps the transaction go so smoothly. All my clients tell me they've heard so many horror stories working with realtors and going through the process. But giving them this in the beginning, it just makes it a lot easier for them.
It's the
when they go
yellow
through it.
brick road, and I'm sure Josh and Chong, this is like a breeze when you have a realtor like this come to settlement. It makes it so much easier.
Can I just say what line he reminds me of?
Who's that?
There's this, so one of the greatest football minds of all time, and probably one of the greatest, and may he rest his peace, his name is Bill Walsh.
Okay.
And what they used to do is they would script out the first drive, regardless of what the defense is doing, and they would practice it till it's perfection, right? And because of that, he's won like 4 or 5 like NFL championships. So I consider now Lonnie the Bill Walsh of real estate.
That is awesome,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, in order to win a championship, you do have to be strategic. You do have to have a plan, and homeowners want to win. And let's talk about their purchasing power and how you help them kind of come into this market where there's so many great homes on the market, and they come out the winners.
Well, I tell you what, you know, selecting the right lender is going to help them determine their purchase power. That's one of the first steps up here is we need to determine the area you want to live in, and then also what you can afford comfortably.
And a good pre-approval letter.
Correct. And that, talking to that lender in the beginning helps them understand, okay, how much I can really afford, how much home, and it might also alter where they want to live.
Interesting. So they'll take that lender and then that lender letter, and then they will get through the process with more power.
Correct.
Is what you're saying, and being
Yes.
more organized.
And the better the lender letter, the more powered it is, because sometimes the pre-approval letters, like Chong would tell you, would say, this buyer's approved up to $400,000.
Right.
But that doesn't really mean anything, because there's a pre-approval letter and like I would consider an approval letter, where you've already gone through your tax returns and Chong can actually say, is approved at this. And not a lot of buyers get those type of letters, but I think Chong does provide those.
Yeah, I think that buyers they're not educated enough to know that. And I think that oftentimes they'll go online or something and they'll say, oh, I'm pre-approved for this amount. Well, they don't really actually know if they're really pre-approved, right? But what's more important is I don't think they really understand what that payment's going to look like, right? So I think it's, and like as Ani said, it's very important that you go through the process, but it's also important, like I said, the right lender is actually going to be able to get you, and I don't want to talk about myself, but the right lender is not going to be able to.
But you are the right lender, so I'll say that for you. Continue, Chong.
But the right lender is going to allow you, like put you in the right position for the best loan moving forward. But more importantly, reputation means an awful lot, right? So
I agree.
If you have the right person, right team that you're working with, they can actually get you, get you to actually get that transaction more so than not.
I love it. Thank you so much, Chong, Lonnie, and Josh. Great information, and if you want to hear more about the great flow chart to get you to the home of your dreams, just visit the Real Deal team online at therealdealdmv.com, or you can pick up the phone right now and call 240-422-8871. We'll be right back.
WUSA 9 wants you to win tickets to Jiffy Lube Live. Jason